only goal came in the 9th minute, her 5th international goal, her 43rd appearance for her country. Ashley lost out by France, throw in USA. First of 2 games to start 2019 for the U.S., both on the road. This one in France, Tuesday, in Spain, their first ever meeting against Spain, who we'll also see at the 2019 Women's World Cup. Tarrant with Fox there. One block, U.S. will collect it. Pushed ahead. So few touches so far from Morgan and Press up top. Done. Sonnet, Moran. Teenage after her. Took too long to get to Press. Now this cover from Troy. Nice move by Press. Help is coming. And it goes right to Bouhaddi. That time, though, the U.S. had 3 players in the box. We haven't seen them that far up the field with that much presence in the box.
Right, and they just struck a few passes together, and the ball pinged wide by Horan is a good one. It allows Christen Press then to size up Tarrant, go at her 1v1. She gets the better of her, but then the cross is right into Bouhaddi.
Away again, Diani, Henry. Cascarino's pass, knocked out of play. Your take, Allie, in the first 15 minutes?
Well, for all the attention that we throw to the left side with Marjorie La Sommer and usually Renard flailing out to there and how she can penetrate on the dribble out of the back, a lot of the plays filtering down the right side with Cascarino, the young player, and I think they're having some success against Fox.
Diani. 3 players go after her. Trip there. Tine commits the foul on Horan.
It's the cut and the lingering leg there of Tine.
Tine has been a part of the last 2 Women's World Cup rosters for France.
And she's an important piece to this group, the way they play, even if they're in a 3-4-3, which they're not today. The way she can pop off that back line, it gives space for La Sommer to then filter inside. Same thing on the opposite side with Cascarino.
These are 2 of the favorites going into the 2019 Women's World Cup. France ranked number 3 by FIFA, U.S. number 1. Germany is number 2, and the French will play Germany in their next game, so that's how they're starting 2019 against the USA and Germany.
I give my advantage to France in that matchup. I think the way France plays, the different systems they can employ and how flexible they are, it's incredibly difficult for opponents to figure out who's going to be potent in what moment.
Regain!
Dahlkemper's pass, finding Mallory Pugh. Defended by Marjorie, block, retaps it ahead. U.S. recovers. Dahlkemper, settled there. Press. Moran. Try to send it over Bouhaddi. Not much on that shot.
She's someone the U.S. will want to test, Bouhaddi. For as experienced as she is, she's prone to some gaps every now and then, and to get a look from outside, not a bad idea by Lindsey Horan. Sometimes, though, you want to drop this one over the top and make her make that decision. That's where she's precarious, coming off her line.
Morgan drops it back. France was appealing for the offside and got it. '19th minute, France with a 1-0 lead and a goal by Diani. Temperatures in the mid-30s in Le Havre. Bouhaddi will put it back into play. Right back by Press. Again, some of these balls played back in dangerous spots. Diani. Edge of the box right. Deflected ball. Ruled still in play until now. Now it's a corner. Second one for France. First one on the opposite side.
It's Diani who pounces on the loose ball by Kristen Bress. It was played between Emily Fox and Sauerbrunn. And that can happen in January. It's not an excuse, but these players aren't as sharp as they will become World Cup time.
29-year-old Eugénie Le Sommer sending it into the middle. She's looking for Renard. U.S. trying to move it ahead. Too far away from Pugh. Majri back on it. It's been tough for the USA to build out of the back and get players involved.
You said it before too, but credit the shape of France. Because they are possessing, because they are advancing numbers forward, they're in great shape to regain it in their opposition's third, and it's not allowing the U.S. to solve that pressure.
Bouhaddi back with it. France comes in unbeaten in the last 8 games. They've won 7 straight, scoring 27 goals and conceding just once. They played half the number of games, though, in 2018 as the U.S. did. The U.S. played 20, unbeaten in those 20. 18 were wins. They trail here. Only goal by Diani. Le Sommer. Majri. Higher pressure here from the U.S. trying to force that turnover. Dunn gave it away. Right back to France. Tine. Moran takes over. Tackle missed there, and then it was lost out.
And that's one of the things about this lineup for the U.S., JP, is that they've got runners up top and Pugh, Press, and Morgan who want to go. And then in midfield, you now have Dunn. She's not going to be a player that wants to get it at her feet and play 1-2 combinations. That's going to fall on the shoulders of Horan and Bryan, and we haven't seen much of them.
It's a rough challenge from Henry against Bryan with 2 number 6s. Goes against Morgan Bryant. Playing in the midfield today, Julie Ertz not available. Big test, though, for Morgan Bryant. She's had to battle injuries over the last year. At one point, she was a everyday starter for this team.
She had that window,
past the
right?
World Cup and Olympics.
In November. Try to get strong and fit again. I think you're right. This is a massive match for her to see how she can hang at this level. The game has advanced since 2015 when she dominated.
This is a big test, too, under the eyes of Jill Ellis, because you're playing a quality opponent like France on the road. The U.S. will get to that ball. Spin move there by Dunn, taken away. Immediate look for the counter. The U.S. will take over with Sonnet. As soon as France loses the ball, when they lose it, though, they fight to try to win it right back.
And they have numbers in the area, typically.
No, Lindsay Dunny, see if you can activate the front 3 quicker.
Dahlkemper to Sauerbrunn. Those are 2 potential starting center backs at the 2019 Women's World Cup. Tierna Davidson still in that mix. She was the #1 draft choice at the NWSL draft, picked by Chicago. She was a starter, then went back to Stanford this year, got an injury, missed almost the entire collegiate year, came out of the draft early, and still one of those that could be a starter at this next World Cup.
There's plenty of time for her to get back and fully fit. And the form that she was in before that injury was fantastic as a young player. She didn't look fazed by the occasion whatsoever.
First dozen games, she was a 90-minute player. Majri. 24th minute, France with a 1-0 lead over the USA. French haven't lost at home in some 24 games, going back to 2015. Majri. Henry, the return pass. Might have been too much to expect in that tight space. Can the U.S. break? Not been able to get out quickly on the counter. The first pass, their breakout pass needs to be better. Quick ball in. Horan looks for options. Forced back by Bussalia. Sonnet. Becky Sauerbrunn. Fox. That's some better ball movement for the U.S. Guard trying to disrupt Fox. Knocked away. U.S. collects. Horan floating one in. Ball played across, or attempted to. It's going to go out. Referee just pointed though to the corner.
It's a soft spot underneath that back line of France, and Lindsey Horan finds herself and drops that one over the top. And you saw the indecision of Buati. Christen Press can't wrap around it, but still earns the corner kick.
Saw that deflection on the replay. Press will push it back. U.S. back near the circle. Sonnet beating the first player. He recovered though. And now it's taken away. Lussimer. Buati has been consistently France's #1 goalkeeper. Played for the same club team, Lyon, since 2009. 26th minute. The goal by Diani. And France has the lead over the U.S. Majri. This one's picked off. It's Dahlkemper originally. Sauerbrunn gathering it in. 26th minute. The U.S. really looking for their first good chance in this game. The attempt was for Morgan. Goes out.
France does such a good job of clogging up the center of the park, protecting it. The U.S. hasn't been able to advance out of that final third from there.
Missed there. Cascarino would allow Press to get to the ball. Bussalia fighting for it. Good effort by Press to win it. Dahlkemper. Right up the middle. He was losing it again. Close to the attacking third. Trying to win it back. That was terrific for Majri.
How about that confidence?
Fox had a look over the shoulder. Now knows about the speed of Cascarino. Cascarino, end line cutting at Diani. Wow. She got caught between a shot and finding Tine in front. But cleaner touch, and they might have had a lead, bigger lead.
Impressed by Cascarino, that woman there, having a field day on that right side. Even in that last attack, the patience just to hold up that touch, so then Diani can get into this slot back run.
Tine. Small stretch of the U.S. defense, but Majri couldn't control it. Still done. Sonnet. There's that pressure from Majri. Dahlkemper. Getting close to the half-hour mark. Dahlkemper going long. Press after it. Chased by Thuram. Christen Press. Trying to bring it towards the middle. Now forced back up by Cascarino. Not on the same page with Horan. It's going to go out for France goal kick.
The U.S. still afraid to penetrate centrally against France. That last ball by Dahlkemper was a good one to open up France, but this is Cascarino. Just flying down that right side. Savviness to split that. I think Diani goes with the wrong foot. She tries to open up with her right. I think if she can frame her body such and take it with the inside of her left, she can slot that one far.
France going back. Right side, Cascarino. Diani and Lussimer making runs. Now the outside run on the right. Ball crossed in. Lussimer! Save by Nair. Big save for Lussimer. Against France's top goal scorer.
It's Cascarino again who sets this one up, buys time for that outside back. Tarrant to get forward, and then Losamer, so patient, just allowing Emily Song to have all eyes on the ball and then sneaks in on her at the last second, tries to duck that one down. Nair quick to it. That's a fantastic looking attack by France. I know the U.S. worked on box organization because they knew service was going to be whipped in, but that one caught them.
That's a big save. The way France is playing, you can't afford to go down by a couple of goals.
We've seen that before in the She Believes.
That was a couple of years ago, that big win for France. That's when the USA were experimenting, looking at players, looking at the three back. That was probably the start and the end of the three back.
You're right.
Majri, Losamer. We had the open player, Majri, who couldn't connect. Valerie Pugh's pass blocked again. Henry, Renard, Tunkara. Half-hour mark. So far, so good for the French. Diani's goal in the 9th minute. Cascarino continuing to impress on the right. Playing it across, and there got to it. US going to have to make some adjustments soon against Cascarino. Become a handful for Fox. Tarrant. Good job there by Emily Fox. Still playing at the University of North Carolina. Press with Dunn and Pugh. Press. Good move there. Quick shot. Right at Douani.
That's some bright play right there by Kristen Press. It was the outlet ball into Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan has Kristen Press, who's coming up underneath, and then that one touch just slices by Tunkara, drives right at her, and then cuts her right there. And now she's got a window to unleash that shot, but she's still pretty far away to beat Buati.
In this kind of a game, you can see what the USA is missing in the creativity of Rapinoe, Heath, and Lavelle. Those are good one-on-one players that would probably have a little bit more success trying to break down the French.
Exactly, because right now it's so tight centrally. If you want to find those wide players, they can get the ball to their feet. If it is a Tobin Heath, if it is Rapinoe, and they can create. But with Press and Pugh, they're flyers.
Brought down on this right side. Dunn finding Valerie Pugh. That's blocked.
And think of how many times we've seen the U.S. try to just penetrate one ball past that first line of defense of France centrally. It's not happening. They're not finding the center mids to set play.
You mentioned those players that are out. Let's talk about the players that are in. How can the U.S. change to be effective with those players?
Well, I think you have to start playing with the positioning of Dunn, Horan, and Morgan Brian. I would want to see Horan be the one to bring it out of the back. She's got to get in a little space behind Tine, but in front of Henry and Busalia, where she can get on the half turn and face up. Then you can start to combine.
France has controlled the pace of this game. The players are in season form. We mentioned that at the top. All playing in the French league for the most part. Diani. Busalia is after it. It's going to be cleared away. France losing it, throwing the U.S. That's off Renard.
And even if the U.S., with the players that are on the pitch right now, JP, if they're not going to be able to build up as much as they prefer, if they want to hit on the break, they're going to have to take advantage of when Renard comes forward. That's got to be something they're looking for, because she's the player that will advance it there. We saw her in the attacking third, and the U.S. was slow to get out.
Fox pass ahead for Press. Bryant. Sauerbrunn. Dahlkemper. 34th minute. U.S. trailing France on a goal by Diani. 5th international goal came in the 9th minute. Right side. Stopped out. After it. Now was the player down.
But this is a better look from the U.S. You had Pugh getting it to her feet and slicing inside. That opens up the space for then Dunn to make that run out of midfield.
Tempo. Keep playing regularized, but with more pace.
U.S. trailing. The goal by Diani. That was it earlier in the game. It's the only goal. Brisalia leaves it off. Tunkara. 35th minute. Part of what we're told is a sellout crowd in Le Havre. Great atmosphere and great expectations for France, who have disappointed when they've come up to some big games. Fourth place finish, 2011 Women's World Cup. Everyone thought they were on their way, but after that, that's 4 major tournaments out in the quarterfinals, and they could end up facing the U.S. in the quarterfinals of the upcoming Women's World Cup if things go according to the way they're lined up, with the U.S. winning their group and France winning theirs. So you could see this matchup again. Del Kemper. Settled by Bryan. And you can count the touches Alex Morgan has made on one hand instead of fingers left. They've not been able to find her today.
And she's been isolated when they have, which is a position that she's become accustomed to. The evolution, her play going from a 2-front with Abby Wambach and then evolving into this 3-front, being isolated centrally.
Morgan makes those great runs, right? But if you don't have the ball, you can't find her.
Doesn't matter.
Horan. Done. That's the area that it's been breaking up for the U.S. Morgan get a fortunate bounce. That's that area in the attacking third where it seems like that next ball has to be so much better, and it hasn't been. So
the run there by Morgan opened up that space for Dunn underneath. You just spoke about her movement.
Fox throw in. Moran fighting off 2 challenges that went down. Now the referee's going to stop and call a handball. She landed on the ball.
Doing the work at both ends. Cascarino there, and then Tarrant comes up. I think she clips her a bit.
I mean, that's unfortunate, right? 2 players defending against her, and she lands on the ball. Jill Ellis looking on. Can make up to 6 changes. This is a friendly. I'm sure we'll see some changes. But we'll see how much she gives the players on the field. She doesn't have to make changes at halftime, but she might.
I'm curious to see how she handles Fox situation. Because right now Fox is trying to get close, then she's giving too much space. She can't figure out her positioning against Cascarino.
Diani, strong run, try to cut it back for Le Sommer. Cuts that out. I think that's going to be a corner.
It's Diani who gets on the end of the ball that slipped through there, and then that does skip out of bounds. Off of Fox.
It is a corner. Don't know why the French fans were booing. Off that third corner to the middle. Second ball. Renard kept it active for Diani. Diani shot saved by there. Wow, that's 2 big saves for her.
And I thought Diani was offside.
That's why you play to the whistle, right? Because I was thinking the same thing.
And she clearly is in an offside position. The referee misses it, but Alyssa Nair, quick reaction save.
Yep, 2 big ones consecutive, the last 2 big saves. That's what Morgan is probably talking about, the offside. 39th minute, France leading 1-0 over the U.S. Make the argument, if it weren't for those 2 big saves by Nair, French would be dominating right now on the scoreboard.
Without a doubt, and they're dominating the flow of play.
take their time with this corner. Is one of the targets. Reynard. Size difference between her and Dahlkemper. 40th minute. U.S. down by 1. Majri to the middle. Not it down, and there again. Guy Henry.
You can see the zoners of the U.S. If it's in your zone, you've got to go win it. 2 French players there to vie for it, and no U.S. player. It's too easy.
Shot it upfield. Dunn kept it rolling, and the offside flag up on the U.S.
It's one of the few times that we've seen Pugh pull wide and get a ball, trying to lead her into space, and just a hair offside, if at all.
Carl Lloyd and others warming up. 41st minute. Majri. You know, for all the talk about Majri and this left side, right? It's the right side.
Yep,
Cascarino.
Right.
And the number 4 player, Taran. And Diani's popped up on that side. Ball played in. Horan after it. Guadi came out. Not on the same page with her right back, Taran. The U.S. is going to have a corner. Goes short. Dunn, end line, playing it across. Moran was after it. Majri, not a good clear. Headed once again by Horan, and that's too close to Guadi.
They almost catch French sleeping on this one. Reynard used that size advantage. This is the ball that's put back across, and then a poor clearance by Majri, just too casual. Pugh trying to center that first time. I think she can have a go there. She's got enough space.
AT&T halftime with Rob, Megan, and Heather. They'll break down the USA defensively. Diani. Complete that pass. First time they were not on the same page. She and Cascarino.
Diani for France in that spearhead position, leading the line over Govan. I think she offers more back to goal. I think her touch is cleaner, and you're just seeing it in these moments where she can spin her defender or she can lay another player in.
Kara. Salia. Kara. Try the right side. Ball looked like it was going to be strong. Picked up. Diani.
It's just a direct ball played in. The U.S. can't get a good clearance, and it lands at the feet of Tine. And now she's got space to run at the back line and slips Diani. And
should look dangerous on these set pieces. Driven by Le Sommer. Clear it out. Salia. Awkward hit right to Nair. This is the busiest Nair has had to be in the last several games that the U.S. has played, right? At least 3 quality chances for France. First one, the goal by Diani, and then she made 2 excellent saves after that.
not taking into consideration qualifying. Level of opponent in CONCACAF.
Henry will push it back. Guadi. Long clearance will go right back to the USA's Dahlkemper. Done. Pulling it back. Morgan Bryant. It's as high a field as she has been in this first half during the run-up play. Let's see, Horan blocked. Taran. U.S. recovers. Good move by Press. Ran up for Morgan, and Bouhaddi got to it. Whistle was there anyway, either for an offside or a foul, with Morgan going in hard.
It's a really good idea by Lindsey Horan. You can see the timing of the run with Alex Morgan. I think she's a step ahead. Bouhaddi well off her line, reading it, and it just catches Alex Morgan as she rises up. Those are not bad ideas for the U.S. Rain those balls in on Bouhaddi. Make her make a decision.
Well, temperatures in the 30s, not bothering some of the French supporters.
It's like Lambeau.
Yeah. Your Packers, I forgot.
Yes, I've forgotten this season too, intentionally.
Corinne Diacre has to be pleased with this French effort. Only disappointed for her is that they're not up by more. As for Jill Ellis, things to think about at halftime. How long will she give some of these players out there? We make up to 6 subs. And even with injury and illness, it's a pretty deep USA bench. Sonnet. Mallory Pugh. Dahlkemper. Bouhaddi came out, grabbed it at the edge of the box. 1 minute. Added on in stoppage time. We're in that minute. The ball's going to be cleared out between the benches.
20 seconds.
Seconds left in this first half. Off that throw in. They played it back. Mashri. Reynard. She's going to go back to her goalkeeper. Past the 1 minute. Minimum of 1 in stoppage time. That'll do it. It's the final whistle. First half is over after 45 minutes. All France right now. The goal by Diani, her 5th international goal, came in the 9th minute. The assist from Cascarino, Rob, Megan, and Heather. Coming up on the AT&T halftime report.
Moving in together, it's a big step. Getting used to each other's idiosyncrasies. It's an adventure. A test. A test that Jeff failed miserably.
The spacious Volkswagen Tiguan. More room means more fun.
John Tyson's motto was, when better chickens are hatched, we will hatch them. It's why all of the Tyson chicken that bears his name is raised with no antibiotics ever. Every nugget, strip, and drumstick. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson.
Friends, they're a lot like salsa. Each one's unique in their own way. Hot, mild, cheesy, and garlic.
I thought it was a costume party.
Get together already.
With Tostitos.
When Domino's is out for delivery, use Domino's new dinner bell to get the family home.
Sorry. 8 atoms of hydrogen. You're never gonna use this anyway. I gotta go.
Ring the dinner bell and they'll come running for their mix and match favorites. Choose any 2 or more like bread twists, specialty chicken, pizza, or salads for only $5.99 each.
Have you ever worked for Dr. Francis?
Oh, yeah. He's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated?
Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE. More for your thing. That's our thing.
It's the premier postseason college football all-star game. Unbelievable. The NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. Today at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on FS1.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Is sponsored by AT&T. The U.S. women's national team last year trailed just twice at halftime. They did rally in both of those to earn a draw, but France right now 45 minutes away from just their third ever win over the U.S. women's national team. Jill Ellis side are going to be back in France in a few months from now. They are your defending Women's World Cup champs, part of a massive summer of soccer here on Fox. June 7th, the Women's World Cup kicks off. June 15th, the Gold Cup, where the men are the defending champs. Rob Stone, Megan Klingenberg, Heather O'Reilly here with you. The U.S., look, they're not at full strength. Predictably, there is some rust in their game. The French, they're at home. They're in the midst of their season. But the difference between the two at this stage, a little bit greater than we expected, Meg.
Yeah, Rob, this is not the game that I was expecting. Despite the starting 11, despite being rusty, the USA lacks bite. They are just not the team that I'm expecting out there. France looks sharp. They're really taking it to them right now.
Very few opportunities offensively for the U.S., but the French are having a ton of success, and they found the game's only goal early and was part of a theme. We're going to get to that more in a little bit later, but Cascarino, I'm just not really sure what is happening here with Emily Fox.
Talking about lacking bite, Emily Fox getting beat on the dribble. Cascarino does an incredible job, though, taking a touch, picking her head up, finding Diani on the box with a great touch, and she slots it past Nair. Can't do anything with that one, but Fox needs to do better.
Her 5th international goal. Alyssa Nair called on here in the 29th minute.
It wasn't the only time that crosses were allowed in the match. Another one coming in from that right-hand side. Nair doing well on it, but just too dangerous down that right flank.
Mentioned Kristen Press in the pregame. Into the 31st minute, trying to make her mark on the game. One of the USA's only chances, a long-range effort, not enough, though.
Another corner from France because they are getting end line well. This one bounces around. It is offside, but Alyssa Nair has to come up with the save from the missed call from the lineswoman.
Nair with 3 saves in the first half, including this one in the 40th.
Into the 40th minute, the USA is giving away way too many corners, especially to France. They're quite good in the air, and you see their prowess right there. They're putting the ball in the net, and they're making Alyssa make big saves.
And the French have found a sweet spot going down that right side in the first 45, Heath.
Absolutely. Listen, Jill Ellis has been tweaking with outside backs for years. And
go ahead, call it what have you labeled it?
We see a young player, Emily Fox, being inserted in this very important game. Gets beat because her speed of play is just a little bit too slow. She has speed, but she loses her mark in a battle. It's not only her fault, though. Right here, you see her again. She's very isolated 1v1. So I would like to see Lindsey Horan being able to shift over, Kristen Press being able to check back. I mean, you have to help out this rookie player in Emily Fox if she's getting beat that many times. I mean, we've seen 6 corner kicks from France. I think nearly every single one was from that right side. So, you know, that's a glaring area of the field that Jill Ellis has a decision to make. Should you let her ride out this game and see what she's got, or do you make a change immediately?
What would you do?
And it's funny because we were talking about the left side at the beginning of the game. We were talking about Majorie, we were talking about Le Sommer, and it's completely opposite. The right side of France is taking it to our left side right now, and if I was Jill Ellis, I would make sure that I put Dunn back there. Give her some time with Becky Sauerbrunn, see if it patches that up. They need to be able to take, you know, Cascarino out of the play.
So the U.S.'s current 28-game unbeaten run in jeopardy at the break in France. When we return, we say goodbye to an American soccer icon.
Now it hurts that you're not using smarter tools to manage your business. You work too hard to work this hard. Collecting receipts? Is it the 80s? Does anybody have a mixtape I can borrow? You should be chasing pets, not chasing payments. QuickBooks gives you a sweet set of business tools that'll do all the hard work for you. You may groom corgis, but you don't have to work like a dog.
You earned it. We're here to make sure you get it.
It's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Bye. Take your razor, yep. Up and down, never side to side, Shakim. You got it?
Come on, stay focused. Hard work, baby. Gonna pay off.
For better reunions, receptions, and occasional reheatings. For better dinners with the kids, lunches with the crew, or late night when you find yourself awake at 2. For football Sundays, family Fridays, and seriously, how is it Mondays? For special occasions, or to make not so special occasions better. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Get the great value of 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas for just $6 each when you buy 2.
You make me train longer.
Drags it back and a shot and a goal for the United States for Carly Lloyd.
You make me try harder.
You make me dream bigger. And when something's in my way, you make me push through it.
Lethal in front of goal.
You make me see the person I want to be.
You know that expensive watch you always wanted? It only cost a fraction of the price to make.
We thought that was crazy, so we made our own watch company.
We created unique watch designs, launched online at fair prices, developed new styles, shipped to over 160 countries around the world, and created a community. Now, you don't have to overpay for a nice watch.
Instead, join the movement.
Shop now at mvmt.com.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair. Then I realized I could actually do something. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And it only costs $1 a day, which means no more covering up. Get started at Keeps.com.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And I'm Ben. We started Hubble because contact lenses are too expensive. At Hubble, our fresh daily contacts are affordable and delivered straight to you. Get your first 2 weeks free at HubbleContacts.com.
2 weeks from today, the new look U.S. men's national team, led now by Greg Berhalter, meets CONCACAF rivals Costa Rica. That one coming your way from San Jose. The Americans gearing up for this summer's Gold Cup, which also comes your way right here on Fox Sports. Yesterday, hundreds from the U.S. soccer community came together for the service for UCLA, MLS, and national team legend Sigi Schmid. The winningest coach in Major League Soccer history passed away on December 25th due to heart complications. The German-born Schmid, who won 3 NCAA titles and 2 MLS crowns, was 65.
They got a chance to win this with a field goal.
Give me time, give me time.
Wait, there's a timeout. They're going to ice the kicker. What is going on?
Oh, no.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
The snap is good. Threads are up.
Take your razor, yep. Up and down, never side to side, Shakim. You got it?
Come on, stay focused. Hard work, baby. Gonna pay off.
I got a million ways to get it. Choose one.
Choose one.
Hey, bring it back, bring it back. Now double your money and make it stack.
This ride has no resolution. There's no finish line. No end goal. No award ceremony. So ask yourself, how far will you go with nothing holding you back? Peloton.
Hi. Hi. We all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Bye.
You better believe it. Wow. Koepka, a major champion. The shot of his life.
Look, it's me. Giving out my credit card details. Sharing my passwords with strangers. Being hackers' best friend. Your sensitive online data is just as open to snoopers on public Wi-Fi. Connect to NordVPN. Help protect your privacy and enjoy advanced internet security. Download NordVPN now. 30-day money-back guarantee.
At touchofmodern.com, things you'd never think possible are totally attainable. The shoes are handmade, the furniture glows, the drones fly themselves. And that's just the beginning. Our relentless pursuit of the highest quality in watches, fashion, tech, and home are available all in one place. touchofmodern.com. We bring something new and unexpected to your life every day. So go to touchofmodern.com and be the first to discover all the novel and noteworthy items the world has to offer.
We welcome you back to the AT&T halftime show. 1-0 France at the break. Both teams on the field getting ready for second half kick, and the U.S. women gearing up for this summer's Women's World Cup. They're going to have 3 more important tune-ups, though, ahead of that, courtesy of the She Believes Cup. Japan on FS1, England on Fox, and then Brazil back here on FS1. France up 1-0. Megan Klingenberg, Heather O'Reilly, Rob Stone back here with you. A chilly setting in France and a chilly reception for the Americans. If you're Jill Ellis, Megan, what do you think the message was at locker room, and what do you expect to be changed here in the second half?
I would expect Jill just to say, we need more. We need more bite. We need more energy. I don't expect you guys to be incredibly sharp right now, but I do expect you all to give it 100%, to have more bite, to tackle, and get in there.
I also think they're missing Julie Ertz in the midfield. I think that she is that player that really gives them that bite, that leadership. We need a little bit more out of Morgan Bryan. I think that that would allow Lindsey Horan to get farther up the field and actually get in the box and get on those crosses. It seems like she's the only one that's crossing the box, but as we know, she's phenomenal in the air, scoring goals of her own. So we need to push her a little bit farther up the field, but have faith that our midfield is secure, which we don't have right now.
Only 2 shots on target for the U.S. at the first half. Emily Fox returns to the field. There's Crystal Dunn. You need to see some of that speed unleashed as well. The 3 of us will join you for the post-game show, but now for the second half call, once again, the Hall of Famer, JP Dellacamera and Allie Wagner.
Thank you, Rob. USA down at the half, 1-0. Twice that happened in all of 2018. They came back in both of those games to draw with France and Australia. As the second half is underway, we don't see any changes to start the second half. So both coaches want to give these players a bit more. Make up to 6 changes. What a first half, though, for Diani. She had more shots and more shots on target than the entire USA team. 5 shots, 3 on target. USA had 3 shots total, 2 on target. Let's see, Allie, about adjustments.
We'll see how they deal with Cascarino, and to your point about Diani, she has to thank Cascarino because Cascarino was playing provider for her in that first half. Those 2 working incredibly well off of one another. Diani, interestingly enough, is usually a right-sided player for club and usually for country, where Govan would be central, but she's doing incredibly well up there as the spearhead.
Press in the middle, Dunn, that's broken up. And the foul was called. Totally agree with Rob, Megan, and Heather that the U.S. needs more bite, but what else do they need?
That's always our answer, right? More bite from the U.S., more physical play, and certainly that is the case. But I don't even think they're getting close enough oftentimes to put that tackle in. The movement of France, the ball movement is so fantastic. It's just taking a lot of the chase out of the U.S. that other teams usually don't.
Russ will drop it back. We weren't sure if Jill Ellis would go to the bench, but we've seen this before when the U.S. has faced some adversity. She likes to have players be able to sort it out. And to give them just 45 minutes, not fair. But they may not get a lot more. Here's Press. Looking, sending it in. That's not a down. As much as France has dominated, it's still only a 1-goal lead.
That could be one of the shortcomings of France, is their inability to really finish teams off. They miss sitters oftentimes.
France high up the field. Le Sommer, Diani, try to return it. It's blocked. The U.S. loses it again there.
And that's the moment where you want the U.S. to break out. They're just missing that first pass once they win it to break that initial wave of pressure of France.
Yeah, with the 3 saves already in this game. There were only 2 games in 2018 in which the goalkeeper had more than 3 saves. So we talked about this being a good test for the U.S. It certainly has been that. Fox. Press. More active now in the middle of the field. Press. Good ball ahead. Morgan. And Buadi just got it with the flag. Heard a late whistle there. Might have been a tad offside.
This is fantastic play from Press. One of the first times we've seen the U.S. actually get out of being squeezed into one of those wide areas. And then she has some room to run and slip in Alex Morgan. Buadi well off her line. It's close.
Yeah, if
really close.
If that's offside, that was close. Very close.
That's why we need VAR and other technology that our eyes don't have.
And hopefully we get that. The 2019 Women's World Cup. There have been rumors that it may happen. It's needed.
It's deserved.
Yes. Needed and deserved. Henry. Cascarino. See how they defend her this time. That's Horan coming over. So maybe that is one of the adjustments.
Just get that second defender. Know that you're responsible then for this touch going end line.
French corner. 50th minute. Sommer. Driven to the middle. Just trying to move it out. Has some help now. Giving right back though. Tall. Too close to Nair. On the ball. We mentioned the 7 players that are not available today. If you're wondering on their bench, France is the backup goalkeeper. You have Mewis, Carly Lloyd, Tierna Davidson, Rose Lavelle, Jessica McDonald, Colaprico, Zerboni, and Sullivan. Dressed 20 players, they brought 27. The deflection. Le Sommer! Inches away from a 2-0 lead.
And it's a sloppy turnover there by Dahlkemper, just trying to advance with it at her feet. The strong challenge comes in from Henry. And then the lucky bounce for Le Sommer. She's just trying to curl that one in. That far post, I don't know how. 6 like inches perhaps, but it misses by. Usually so lethal in these moments. Le Sommer's had 3 goals against the U.S. She likes this matchup.
She scored 9 goals for her national team in the last calendar year. Total of 30 goals scored by France by 15 different players.
Easily one of the best players in the world right now.
She could be and should be one of the stars to watch in the Women's World Cup 2019, which is 139 days away. You know, we always talk about the U.S. players and the stars, but there are other stars amongst the teams that are headed to France, and Le Sommer will be one of them.
And what's interesting for France is with these other players stepping up, like Cascarino, Diani, now some of the pressure is going to be off of Le Sommer. Her ability to run the channel, but popping off that back line. Well, I don't think there's anyone in the world that's better in those moments.
Moran will push it to the right. Sonnet. Off that touch. Renard needs help, gets it. Majri. Renard, 52nd minute, France France with a 1-0 lead with a goal by Diani. The U.S. will put it ahead. That's Pugh. Returning it, knocked away. Again, that last pass, final pass in the final third, not on.
January camp syndrome, that's what we call it. It's good play by Pugh, though. It's the right idea. Sloppy by France in the back there from Wendy Renard, just trying to play out of too much pressure.
Fox is coming out, and Tierna Davidson is coming in. So we're going to see Davidson now as an outside back. We presume it'll be on that left side. We'll find out. That's the first change made by USA head coach Jill Ellis.
And that's curious that she didn't make it in half.
And didn't wait really till the 60th minute. So didn't give her as much time. Pugh's throw in. Sonnet will find Pugh. Ball is crossed in. Morgan couldn't get it cleanly.
Better spell here for the U.S. A couple services into the box. And that one looks like it just catches Alex Morgan off guard because you had press challenging for the first ball. Timing was off.
That's Davidson, the center back pretty much with the U.S. national team, but could play outside.
She started her career as a defensive center mid at Stanford.
2018, despite her injury, U.S. Soccer's Young Female Player of the Year. And as we mentioned, #1 draft choice in the entire NWSL. Came out of college early for that opportunity. Sonnet on that right side. The U.S. has made that one substitution, none so far for France. Out of the 6 that you are allotted in this friendly. Davidson. Moran. A little bit of room. Now it's closed down. Press. Moran out wide and high. Into the middle. The flick was missed there by Morgan. Valerie Pugh. Morgan Bryant. Keeping it on the deck, but it's given away to Renard. Now for Marjorie. Floats up for Diani. Been impressive today. Still has the game's only goal. But she's done more today. Speed, she's physical.
Good hold-up play, but this all started with Becky Sauerbrunn driving up and beating that initial line of France's line of confrontation. That opened things up, allowed Tierna Davidson to get on it and slot Horan further up the pitch. Something they did not do in the first half at all. Everything was kept in front of France. France could just quietly shift, and they weren't trying to penetrate. No one was forcing the issue, drawing a player out of the space they wanted to exploit. And I've already seen it from Davidson. I know she's not going to be as sharp or fit as she will be in 5-6 months' time, but her ability on the ball, just to play a calm entry pass into midfield, can really open things up for the U.S.
Today's match, USA versus France, is presented by AT&T. Just joining us, only goal of the game, Diani. 9th minute, her 5th international goal. That's her on the ball. Diani looking for a second, and she's got it. 2-0 France. That is a well-struck ball.
That was absolutely dirty from Diani. They force the issue, France does. They win in a high area, and then just the run right off the shoulder of Abby Dahlkemper. It's an inside, then she cuts out and to get up and chip that one, knowing that Alyssa Nair is going to be cheating near post, looking for that ball, being slid across the frame. That is a finish. And that is a player that is now going to become the leading striker for France come World Cup time if she can keep this type of form up. That is pretty. With the stride that she had running onto that ball, I think she's going goal the whole way.
She's got her second or sixth international goal. And now, U.S. trails by 2. You have to think very far back to figure out when that's happened for the U.S. I mean, their last loss was against Australia in 2017. It was only by 1-0.
She believes. France.
Yep. The game played in Seattle. So that France game might have been the last time, right, that they trailed by that many?
As far as I can remember.
So Jill Ellis knows that has not happened often. Learning moments, teaching moments. USA trailing France 2-0. 28-game unbeaten streak for the USA. Definitely on the line.
That ball there, JP, by Tierna Davidson opens things up.
Henry. It's kind of ironic. I think the U.S. has played better since they gave up that first goal. But here, it's a bigger gap now, right? I mean, they were creating a little bit more. We saw press going into the middle. We saw Horan do some things. Morgan had some near chances, and then France strikes.
Without a doubt.
Davidson chasing it back. Pressure on her to the feet of Nair. It's a good ball to Horan. But again, the U.S. can't keep it. Tunkara back for Bouhaddi.
They're just really struggling to solve that press of France. More often than not, they're getting pinned into one side, and whether it's an individual solving it or collectively where they can spin out, it's just not happening with the same success rate that France is doing to the U.S.
Pass ahead for Dunn. Look it out. Majri. Salia. Let's see how France plays this now with this 2-goal lead instead of 1. Does Diacre? When does Diacre go to her bench, and how does she use her bench? Because this is big for them. No matter what this USA lineup is, this is a big way for France to start the year if they can beat the U.S.
And that's why I think she would go to her bench sooner than later. Give some younger players a taste of this type of environment. These experienced vets more likely, 90% of your starters come World Cup time know that they're up 2-0 against the #1 ranked team in the world, and then things shifted if things were to turn awry.
Tunkara past the hour mark. France has opened up their lead to 2. Both goals by Diani. Looking like a name we should get to know in advance of France 2019. 139 days away here on Fox. Done. And how does the U.S. go now with this? You'd have to call it adversity. They're down by 2 goals.
Well, they've started to push the game, press the game more than we saw in that first half. I think there's a sense of urgency that we didn't see. But at the same time, the principles have to exist, and you have to stay true to them if this is a teachable moment, if this is a teachable game.
On that right side, Cascarino. Good job by Davidson. This is a good French team. Make no mistake about it. They played well today. It's their A team, and they brought their A game.
And Cascarino might be earning a starting spot for this squad. Well played there by Davidson, though.
62nd minute. Diani has 2 goals. France leads the U.S. by a 2-0 scoreline. Torrance throw in. Tine. Cascarino. Davidson playing much tighter on her. Bounce the other way from Sauerbrunn. Morgan upfield. She is fouled. Foul on Tarrant.
And with how well Cascarino's playing, press isn't having to drop back. Alex Morgan's your only outlet there. This ball pops up and then draws the foul.
That was a tough landing for Morgan. Head snapping against the grass. 63rd minute. Concern with Morgan down. Carly Lloyd is up. Watch the end of this play.
Oof.
That's even harder than it looked when we watched it live. Fortunately, she seems okay.
And you know that grass is so hard when it's about 6 degrees out.
This is the kind of atmosphere you're going to see a few months from now. France excited about being hosts for the Women's World Cup. 9 different cities in France. This is one of them. Press. After it went down. The French get it back and move it ahead. Diani. Tarrant. Knocked out of play. These two clubs have met up. Last 2 editions of the She Believes Cup. France winning it a couple years ago and then the draw last year. Only time the French have lost in the last year was in that She Believes Cup. That was their first game against England. After that, they were perfect.
Part of that's been settling into a new system with a new coach for France. This is one of the teams, of all my research, of all the squads that we've seen, JP, teams that are in the World Cup that we haven't seen, all the video I've watched, this is a team that is the most versatile. And I'm speaking of France. They can play their 3-4-3. They can play their 4-3-3. They can play this system, their 4-2-3-1. And these players can shift within those systems. They don't even have to make substitutions to fly in and out of those different systems. And the U.S. just hasn't faced that. And the U.S. really, I don't know if they can match it. They're really held on to this 4-3-3 system, which works so well for them and their personnel. They're working on things that they can shift into if game situations call for it. But I don't know if it's as fluid and natural as it is for this French team. Having said that, I take our personnel any day, every day.
They are the favorites. Defending champions. But right now, on this field, on this day, with these lineups, the French are the better side. Tarrant with it. Scoring summary, it's all Diani. Sauerbrunn. Davidson. It's 1-0 lead at the half. Nair made 2 excellent saves in the first half. Otherwise, the scoreline would have been earlier in the game. Davidson. Deflected ball intended for Pugh. Mallory brings it down. Washington Spirit attacking player will push it into the middle. Horan, it's deflected. Dunn up high into the box. Looking for an option. Thought that ball was out over the end line, but not ruled that way.
She keeps that one in.
Hearing that France are going to make their first change. Davidson on the ball. Sonnet. Sauerbrunn inside the circle. U.S. trailing by 2. Morgan, Horan leads it. That was done after it, but Marjorie did a good job to hold up her run.
It's better from the U.S. with Morgan pulling off that back line and Lindsey Horan in close enough support to collect that ball, and then Dunn trying to slice in behind that very space that Alex Morgan had just left. Those are movements we're used to seeing, and we just haven't seen often enough today. And it's just because of lack of possession, JP. The U.S. cannot get a hold of it.
Bussalia moving it on the left. Majri. Lesemere blocked. From distance, Henry. And that's there. Reynard is on the chase and is being chased. Pure's after it, back for Bouhaddi. Not really been able to test Bouhaddi today. We've seen her make big saves in the past, but also give up that soft goal. They're not really testing her, though.
No, I mean, it's been a handful of chances, and that might be generous.
Sauerbrunn for Dahlkemper. All the way back for Bouhaddi. We're in the 69th minute. France leading 2-0. And Sana touched it last. Now we may see the change. Katoto was the player that was supposed to be coming in. We'll see if that is still the case. And Cascarino, she had a good game.
She certainly did. And Emily Fox will remember this matchup. I'm certain of it. Cascarino just gets the better of her all day long. And in that game, at that moment in particular, slides it into Diani. Cascarino, I mean, the aggressiveness with which she went at Emily Fox in that first half. I think she was quiet in the second half, but her composure on the ball and the pace with which she can dribble, it's exciting for this French side.
So they take out one young player, she'll be 22 in February, and Katoto, who comes in, won't turn 21 until November. She plays for Paris Saint-Germain.
And she likely will slide in up top for Diani. It looks that way. And then Diani will flare out to the right where Cascarino was.
Sauerbrunn. 70th minute. USA in an unfamiliar position, not only trailing, but trailing by 2 goals. Morgan. The run made. The pass made. Done with Bouhaddi out. That's a big play by Bouhaddi with athleticism clearing it out. That's the most dangerous the U.S. has looked.
And the first time they've played through the lines, it was 3 passes just straight up the gauntlet. Alex Morgan is peeling off that back line, and it's Dunn again who's sneaking in behind. Bouhaddi wise to it.
Solid throw in. She's doubled up. Dunn forcing it. On a play, USA's ball.
And that had to be the first time we've seen in this match them breaking lines centrally.
The star of the 2015 Women's World Cup, Carly Lloyd, with a hat trick in that final against Japan. The starter then, coming off the bench these days. She'll come in the 71st minute for Sonnet.
So perhaps they will shift into that forefront system with double 9s. Taking out a back, sliding in at Carly. And you can hear Graham saying tactical sub.
It could be 3 in the back, or they could push Dunn, right?
No, you're right. For sure.
So we'll see. But Lloyd's passing along the instructions among active players for the U.S. She's their high goal scorer with 105 in 265 appearances. Majri. And that's going to go out of play. France has been pretty consistent throughout this game. Even with the 1-0 lead, we thought that they were controlling things. They got that second goal in the 57th minute. That's opened up the gap. But the U.S. have had really their better opportunities since they've been down by the 2. Tarrant. block. France will collect.
Pressure! 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 Pressure!
You can hear the sounds of pressure from that USA bench. Diani after it. Upfield, that's knocked out. Toto was the intended target. Sauerbrunn was right there.
The movement off of each other from this French side has been big time today. Even that one, you look at Diani come in, Katoto coming in behind. Even when it's tight, they're creating space with their movement.
Look at that ball in. Katoto. Bad first touch for her. Otherwise, she walks in. Sauerbrunn's pass blocked. Gets a second try at it. Diani takes over. Henry. Tarrant. Tunkara. That's picked off. Carly Lloyd's first few touches. Headed upfield. And a bit too far. She was trying to combine with Morgan. Carly Lloyd, age 36, plays for Sky Blue in the NWSL. 3 World Cups on that resume.
That ball by Henry. Sneakalicious.
Toto is the first and only sub made by France. U.S. has made 2 changes with Davidson and Lloyd coming in. France moving it right. Diani versus Davidson. Cutting to the middle. Henry. Tine. That's blocked. Henry will get it right back. The Sumair's flick. The return doesn't work that time. But the flag was up.
When that last attack, JP, by France on the right side, you could see the fatigue of press wearing in. She can't even double back. She's so exhausted, even when it's 2v2. Looks like heavy legs by the U.S. I think that's why I'm not concerned about this result at this point. I don't think this is going to be a fair representation of what this team is going to look like in another month, 2 months, 3 months as we tick towards that World Cup.
Diani's on it. Henry. Talked about the missing players, some creative players like Rapinoe, like Tobin Heath. We've got Lavelle available on the bench, but she's been battling an illness. Missing O'Hara, missing Ertz. But still, the lineup was good tonight. Moran lost it there. Henry. Diani. Nice toe poke ahead. Katoto. She's going to get the return. Has some space. Plays it in. Oh, Lessemer was right there. She says deflection by Dunn.
And a quick combination there. Just a back-to-goal play by Katoto. Henry has acres to put that in to her path. And then Lessemer trying to get in behind Dunn. Dunn with the recovery speed to close down.
Yeah, if she's not there, that's a tap-in.
And it looks like that might have been Lessemer who, in fact, connected with that.
Lessemer's corner. Coming out. Quick shot taken. Off Nair. Rebound. 3-0. Reyna, unless she was off, she was ruled offside. What a strike that was, though, from distance initially. Then the follow-up. Tarrant. Press. Into the middle. Lloyd, and that's high and wide.
Here's a look at it. Poor clearance by the U.S. and Busalia. She'll always wind one up from the top of the 18 if you give her time and space. She connects well, and then Renard with the putback. We don't get a look at her positioning.
Busalia's shot.
And there, quick to ground. Hard to see from there if Renard was in fact off.
Diani with the 2 goals. France have been solid since the opening whistle. Got a 2-0 lead. Horan fires, and Bouhaddi won't spill that. 77th minute, a 2-0 French lead. Their first game of this calendar year. Same with the USA. USA will play Spain on Tuesday. France's next game we mentioned earlier versus Germany in February. These are big games for France. They didn't have to qualify, being the host country. So anytime you can play some quality opponents, even though it's a friendly, it's big. Katoto, step behind the defense. Nair's out. And that goes in. 3-0. The goal from the sub, Katoto.
Who's leading league on in goals scored continues to pay dividends here. It's just a poor giveaway, and then there's that gap in between the two center backs that she's going to feast on. You can see the stride for stride. She's pulling away. Nair off her line, one touch to beat her, and then she can just slide that one in. So much space to lay that ball in, and it is a beauty. And Nair caught in no man's land. Makes it an easy finish in the end. Busalia playing provider. She's been doing the dirty work in front of that back line. But it's a quality pass that ultimately lands in stride for Katoto.
Well, one streak appears to be continuing today. That's the French unbeaten streak, while the USA's unbeaten streak is going to be ending at 28. Barring a miraculous comeback. We're in the 80th minute, and they are down by 3 goals. Last time they trailed by this score was to France, 2017 She Believes Cup. That starts up in late February. Japan, England, Brazil, the opponents. It starts at Talon Energy Stadium, just outside of Philadelphia. We'll have those games for you here on Fox. Press, 23, 24 yards out. Free kick, curling in, knotted down, and Bouhaddi lets it go wide.
You see the job by that back line of France. They cover well. No one for the U.S. looking for that knockdown.
They've had so few set pieces, though, today, the U.S., right? They're not drawing fouls high upfield, corners.
How many times have they been in there attacking third?
So as good as you are on set pieces, doesn't matter if you don't have them. And that's been the case in this game. 81st minute. France. They're like a fine-tuned team. Their players, as we've said before, played in. Their French league going strong.
And these U.S. players needed a break, so they couldn't have been expected to come in sharp and fit.
Horan leading it. That's too long. Even if they had the full team, the U.S. knew this was going to be difficult. Forget all the streaks, forget about the numbers. You're playing on the road in France, first game of the year, and this is a very good French side. Bouhaddi pushing it forward. Well, this will get the French even more excited about hosting the Women's World Cup. Tine cutting it. There's Diani. Could she get 3? That's headed away. Diani will get the follow-up. Amandine Henry. Played all the way back. Tunkara. Sideline. Tine Davidson doing her best and does well to help win that ball. Morgan. Carly Lloyd. Against Marjorie, getting it forward on this right side. Mallory Pugh looking for runners. There are three of them. Press with a header, and it's wide. But they weren't getting these chances in the first half.
No, and we started the day wondering who was going to benefit from the U.S., from the opportunities that were given with these injuries. And I think that woman right there, Kristen Press, has been probably the brightest spot for the U.S.
Jessica McDonald, we're hearing a couple of subs for the U.S. Let's see. She too plays for the North Carolina Courage, the NWSL. Yanni looks like her day is done.
She got it started for France, that's for sure, and she kept on going. That is a beautiful finish.
So Diani is out. Asai comes in. Vivian Asai. Saw McDonald. Let's see, she's coming in. Alex Morgan out. Unfortunately for Morgan today, not much of a supply of the ball. Samantha Mewis coming in for Lindsey Horan. So that will be the fourth change made by the U.S. Bouadi will put it back into play. 84th minute, all France on this day. A 3-0 lead, 2 for Diani, 1 for Katoto. Two second-half goals have really opened this up for the French. Katoto leads it left sideline. Samer playing it in. Nair comes off the line to grab it. Press. High upfield. USA's 28-game unbeaten streak is going to end in minutes. Their last loss versus Australia, 2017. Australia made news yesterday. They fired their head coach. Probably get more details about that in the coming days, but Stajic is out after Australia's improved. They're a top 5 team.
And by the looks of it, I mean, I spoke with Sam Kerr. She was extremely disappointed by that call. The players are a little bit in the dark as to what's going on. I think more will come to light in the ensuing days.
They're the last team, Australia, to beat the U.S., the game in Seattle. And they also had a tie with them last year in a game in which Australia were the better side. But the U.S. got a late goal to level. Reynard with that clearance goes out for a throw-in. Morgan and Horan, spectators now, watching this very good French side that they struggled against. 78th minute was the last goal. It was by Katoto. Bouadi over the halfway line with that clearance. France still pressing pretty high here. They only made the 2 subs. I think they wanted this to be more of a statement game. I think that's why she kept a lot of her veterans in, especially when it was 2-0. They didn't want to end up 2-2 result after the way they played.
She looks like an intelligent coach, sliding in Katoto, who gets the third.
France do have some injuries, but this is as good a lineup as they can present on the field.
And the one player you're speaking of, Mbak,
yeah.
Grege Mbak Batsi, would likely slide into that back line as a center back along Reynard.
Ball goes out for a throw-in. Jessica McDonald will take it. MVP in the championship game of the NWSL. Long throw in. It's going to end up in the arms of Bouadi. U.S. back on it. Lloyd will get to it. The respect against Lloyd and the pressure. Carly stays with it. Then went down. Still no foul given. Amandine Henry. Very strong game for the number 6 Henry for France. Katoto has Marjorie up high. 2 number 7s are there. Marjorie versus Dahlkemper. Marjorie playing it in. That's blocked. The U.S. will try to move it out. And they do. To the feet of Pugh. Laid off by McDonald. 88th minute.
That's better by the U.S. The ball movement much quicker, less touches.
Toronto. Tine. Options for her. Finds Katoto. There with the block. Cleared out by Davidson. France are still looking for more.
And it's because they're picking the U.S. off in dangerous positions. Well-timed run. Nicely weighted pass by Tine there. Melissa Nair has to be covering this situation. Knows that Sauerbrunn is beat.
She came off her line well. Asai. Out for a throw-in for Toronto. 89th minute. Big day for France. Kristen Press. Left sideline. Lloyd. 1v1 at the moment. Lloyd trying to go outside of Tunkara. She didn't fall for that.
The strength of France in these 1v1 battles, they've gotten the better of the U.S. all over the pitch. You saw it there with Lloyd.
Another long McDonald throw in, right to the middle. France struggling to clear it out. Asai needed help. McDonald crossing. They try to lay it off. Busalia cleared. Dahlkemper pushing it back. Nair well away from her goal. Long ball ahead. Headed once. Control by Toronto. Seven USA players not suiting up today. We assume some, if not all, will be available for Tuesday against Spain. Let's see what changes might be made for that game for the U.S. Almost at 90th minute. We'll see about stoppage time. This will be a day for France to remember. Very strong performance right from the opening whistle. 1-0 was the lead at halftime. 2 goals here in the second half. And it's all France. U.S. Nice ball ahead. Press with Bouhaddi out. And she cleared it. Off the chest of Davidson. Into the middle. Quick shot taken, and that's the first U.S. goal from Mallory Pugh. Mallory Pugh puts the USA on the board. The shutout is averted, but too little too late today for the U.S.
Perhaps a boost of confidence, though. Some good interplay for the U.S. just hitting centrally. I think the insertion of Sam Ewis has helped. Carly Lloyd there with a little combination. And that's a quality finish from a young striker. You can see the movement, just a little 1-2 off it. She gets the better there of Tehran. And then at a difficult angle, Bouhaddi's trying to cover her near. That one just creeps by.
It's her 13th international goal for the young star. Turns 21 in April. Came in stoppage time. So few chances, so few good chances today for the U.S. Credit to France for the way they have controlled this game. Asai. Davidson trying to get better positioning. She's being held. There's a foul to call.
There's something so natural about watching Tierna Davidson, even though left back is in her prime spot, if you will. It's not where she trains. She's not fit. She's coming back from injury, and then she can slide in and shut down that left side more than Fox was even capable of doing, who's been coming off of season and should be fit and fresh.
She has 9 more games to try to possibly play some left back. We'll see what Jill Ellis' plans are for her.
Well, it's an area they have to figure out because on the depth chart, they are weak there.
It's just clipped by Asai. Better than halfway through at stoppage time. France with a 3-1 lead over the U.S. It'll be their 9th straight win for France. USA had won 10 straight games. They came into this game with 884 consecutive shutout minutes. They didn't get to 900 before the French had scored. McDonald. Final minute here of stoppage time. As this ball is played up, and that's cleared away. What did you see today, Allie? What needs to change for Tuesday?
Some personnel. No, I mean, that's obvious, but I think for the U.S., the fitness will come. They can't worry about that. The sharpness will come. But the ideas weren't necessarily what we saw at the end of last season, where the movement was there, coming before the pass. I don't think the connection, the interplay, it was all reactionary today. And if they can figure out how to solve a team that has more of the ball, that's something we haven't had to say before. But they're going to have to figure that out, whether they become a counterattack at times in a match.
That's it. Final whistle. Big day for France. Diacre can celebrate. It's a 3-1 victory for France over the USA. Diani, one of the stars today. 2 goals for her, 5th and 6th international goals. Katoto got another one. It was a 3-0 lead for France before Mallory Pugh scored in stoppage time to make it 3-1. So, dominating performance for France today. They're the deserved winners as we toss things back to Rob Stone.
All right, JP, thank you. Megan Klingberg, Heather O'Reilly with us. So the U.S. women's national team's 28-game unbeaten streak is over. France 9-game unbeaten run now continues. A command performance from France. We're going to get into the implications of that one for their country and for the team. But, Meg, let's start with the U.S. And this brought up a slew of problems. Number 1 on your problem list, depth.
Yeah, depth. The USA might not be as deep as we all think they are. In my opinion, our starting 11 is the best in the world, but also our next 11 should be able to compete and do well against France. They should still be able to beat France. And in this game, France looked incredibly sharp. We didn't look like we could even stay on the field with them. That's not what I expect from our players that are coming in off the bench that need to make their mark, their impact on a big game like this.
On the flip side, for the French, Heather, this is a double win for them.
Listen, real disappointing result and performance from the U.S. That is clear. But from the French perspective, what a result. France just won the Men's World Cup. Now their women are beating the reigning hosts, or the reigning World Cup champions, rather. You know, this is a fun time for French football, and it's going to provide an incredible environment and atmosphere in June in France.
Really interesting visual right here. That's Jill Ellis talking to the collective unit. Love to be a fly in that circle right now, but this is not fire and brimstone time. This is live and learn moments.
Absolutely. I think it's a fragile line between, you know, letting the players know it wasn't good enough, but also letting them know, listen, this is January. We're not as fit as we can be. We're not as sharp as we can be, and also we have a lot of injuries. So Jill doesn't want to completely annihilate their confidence, but I think this was a big-time wake-up call, and, hey, that's what they came to January for.
That's why they're in Europe, to be tested, get out of your comfort zone. They head to Spain. They have a game later this week, but the end today, all France. 3-1 your final. The post-game show coming up, and why this result may have actually been a gift for Jill Ellis and the U.S. women's national team.
Sunday on Fox.
This day is on day.
One win away from the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley leads the Rams.
Touchdown.
Against Drew Brees and the Saints.
What a play.
The NFC Championship, presented by Intuit TurboTax Live. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Everybody all set?
Hey.
Oh, any recommendations? The salmon roll's okay. Just okay? Is it fresh? Sort of. The chef had it this morning. Unfortunately, he went home sick, but he left instructions with Kyle.
This fish is raw.
Do we need a minute?
Yes.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE. More for your thing. That's our thing.
When Domino's is out for delivery, use Domino's new dinner bell to get the family home.
Sorry. Eat atoms of hydrogen.
You're never going to use this anyway.
I gotta go.
Ring the dinner bell and they'll come running for their mix and match favorites. Choose any 2 or more like bread twists, specialty chicken, pizza, or salads for only $5.99 each.
First dates, they can be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. Kinda like my constipation.
Let's not talk about constipation.
Did I make it more uncomfortable?
Say no more to occasional constipation with clinically proven effective Seneca. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
I got a million ways to get it. Choose one. Choose one. Hey, bring it back. Bring it back. Now double your money and make it stack.
This ride has no resolution. There's no finish line. No end goal. No award ceremony. So ask yourself, how far will you go with nothing holding you back? Peloton.
Take your razor, yep. Up and down, never side to side. Shakim, you got it?
Come on, stay focused. Hard work, baby. Come pay off.
It's the premier postseason college football all-star game. Unbelievable. The NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. Today at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on FS1.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And I'm Ben. We started Hubble because contact lenses are too expensive. At Hubble, our fresh daily contacts are affordable and delivered straight to you. Get 30 lenses for $3 at HubbleContacts.com.